Hi, scary lovers. Hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy today's story. Please like and subscribe if you're into scary stories like me. Whispers of Willow Creek Plantation. Nestled deep in the heart of Louisiana, Willow Creek Plantation stood as a remnant of a bygone era. Its weathered white columns and peeling paint hinted at a once grand structure, now cloaked in tales of sorrow and despair. Locals whispered of ghostly figures drifting through the overgrown gardens, their anguished cries echoing in the night. The plantation had been abandoned for decades, the land swallowed by wild foliage and the relentless march of time. Yet, a dark curiosity drew people to its gates. Among them was Claire, a graduate student studying Southern history. Intrigued by the legends surrounding Willow Creek, she decided to investigate. As Claire approached the plantation, the air thickened with humidity and an unsettling stillness enveloped her. The heavy iron gate creaked open, revealing a path overrun with weeds. Each step felt like an intrusion into a sacred place, as if the spirits within were watching her every move. Inside, the main house was a time capsule, filled with remnants of the past. Dust-coated furniture stood frozen in place, and the air smelled of mildew and decay. Claire set up her camera, hoping to capture the essence of the plantation and its haunted history. That night, she began her research. By the flickering light of a candle, she pored over old journals and newspaper clippings. The story spoke of the plantation's owner, a man named Henry Davenport, known for his cruelty and greed. Tales of his slaves, who toiled under his watchful eye, were laced with suffering and despair. It was said that their spirits lingered, bound to the land where they had lost their life. As the clock struck midnight, Claire heard a faint whisper. She paused, straining to listen. The voice was soft, almost melodic, weaving through the air like a gentle breeze. "Help us," it murmured. Heart racing, she grabbed her flashlight and moved towards the sound. Following the whispers, Claire entered the dilapidated parlor. The candle flickered violently, casting eerie shadows on the walls. In the corner of the room stood a mirror, its surface clouded with age. As she approached, the whispers grew louder, coalescing into desperate pleas. "Free us!" Suddenly, a chill swept through the room, and the temperature dropped drastically. Claire could see her breath misting in front of her. The mirror began to shimmer, and for a brief moment, she glimpsed figures trapped within haunted souls, their faces twisted in anguish. Startled, she stumbled back, but a force pulled her forward. The mirror glowed brighter, and the whispers transformed into cries of despair. "You must listen," one voice called, a woman's voice, filled with sorrow. "We were wronged." Claire's resolve hardened. She needed to uncover the truth behind these spirits, to give them the justice they had been denied. She returned to her research, determined to learn everything she could about the plantation's dark past. Days turned into nights as Claire immersed herself in the plantation's history. She discovered that Henry Davenport had been involved in numerous atrocities, including the brutal punishment of his slaves. As she pieced together their stories, she realized their pain was intertwined with her own, a legacy of suffering that transcended time. One night, as she worked late in the library, the air shifted again. The temperature dropped, and the whispers returned, more urgent this time. "Find our names," they pleaded. "Remember us." With newfound purpose, Claire began to document the names of the enslaved individuals who had lived and died on the plantation. She spent hours in archives, tracing records, and painstakingly compiling a list. Each name was a story, a life cut short. With every entry, she felt a connection to the souls of Willow Creek, a shared burden of grief. As she uncovered more names, the spirits became increasingly agitated. The whispers transformed into wails of anguish, echoing through the halls of the plantation. Claire understood that they were seeking recognition, a chance to be remembered. She knew she had to honor them. With a plan in place, Claire organized a memorial. She invited local historians, families of the descendants, and anyone willing to listen. The day of the gathering was draped in a thick fog, casting an ethereal glow over the plantation. Claire stood in the overgrown garden, surrounded by a small group of people, all holding candles in honor of those who had suffered. As she began to speak, a soft breeze rustled through the trees. Today, we gather not just to remember the past but to give voice to the voiceless, she proclaimed, reading aloud the names she had discovered. Each name seemed to awaken the spirits, and a palpable energy filled the air. The whispers crescendoed into a symphony of cries, then transformed into a harmonious chorus of gratitude. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the mist, a woman in a tattered white dress, her eyes filled with sorrow and resolve. Claire recognized her as one of the spirits from the mirror. The woman stepped forward, and the crowd gasped. "Thank you for remembering us," she said, her voice echoing through the garden. "We are free now." As she spoke, the atmosphere shifted. The oppressive weight of despair lifted, replaced by a sense of peace. The other spirits began to appear, their faces serene, their chains finally broken. They began to fade into the light, one by one, their whispers turning into soft laughter, finally free from the pain of their past. Claire watched in awe, tears streaming down her face as the spirits departed. She felt a profound sense of fulfillment, knowing she had honored their legacy. As the last figure vanished, the fog began to lift, revealing the plantation in all its haunting beauty, now transformed. From that day forward, Willow Creek Plantation became a place of remembrance rather than a symbol of sorrow. Claire dedicated her research to preserving the stories of those who had suffered, ensuring they would never be forgotten. The whispers faded, replaced by a gentle breeze, as if the land itself was breathing a sigh of relief. Years later, Claire returned to the plantation, now a historical site. As she walked through the gardens, she felt the spirits of Willow Creek watching over her, not with anguish but with gratitude. The plantation stood as a testament to resilience, a place where history was not just remembered but embraced, a place where the whispers of the past finally found peace. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please let me know down below what kind of stories you would like to hear more from. Like and subscribe if you're into scary stories like me. Stay safe and I'll see you tomorrow.